The episode begins with a seemingly little plot point: Kody Brown's decision to cut off his mustache. Even the slightest changes in Kody's appearance can become a huge thing, as anybody who has watched Sister Wives long enough knows. And Robyn is the main focus this time. Robyn had been aloof for weeks. In fact, for the majority of the season. She has been aloof, almost aloof, and her unwillingness to express love for Kody has been a recurring motif. She has avoided contact, dodged kisses, and pretended to be ashamed to be seen holding his hand. Fans have observed how awkward it has been. But all of a sudden, everything changes with a single razor swipe. Robyn beams as Kody enters the room clean-shaven. Welcome to TLC Flicks, your ultimate destination for all things reality, drama, and binge-worthy moments. From shocking twists to behind-the-scenes secrets, however. Before we know it, she's leaning in for a kiss after laughing and smiling. The cameras capture them laughing, kissing, and acting like they're in high school. Not just a brief kiss. It's theatrical, exaggerated, and amusing. The show wants us to think that this is some sort of romantic turning point, even though they are making out like teens hiding behind the bleachers. Naturally, the irony is that Robyn has been acting as though she doesn't even want to kiss her husband for 9 episodes. She has been depicting emotional suffering, remoteness, and an inability to connect. And now that the mustache has vanished, she's flinging herself into his arms? It seems manufactured, as if the makers needed a humorous moment to decompress from the season's strain. For his part, Kody is enjoying it. He's beaming and enjoying the attention, obviously overjoyed that Robyn is finally showing him the love he's been longing for. As if chopping it off would magically mend their marriage. He even makes jokes about how the mustache was the issue all along. Laughter, over-the-top warmth, and the feeling that, look, we're still in love, are all hallmarks of the scene, which unfolds like a staged romantic comedy. The problem is that viewers aren't buying it. The abrupt change comes out as rushed, almost frantic. In front of the cameras, Robyn seems to be attempting to change the story of their relationship by acting as though everything is alright, that they are still in love, and that the gap we've witnessed during the season was just related to facial hair. Additionally, the true drama is simmering in the background while the show focuses on their adolescent-style makeout session. Because Meri Brown is going to take center stage with a much more serious story, one that involves property, betrayal, and trust concerns that go far beyond a mustache, while Kody and Robyn are preoccupied with acting teens. The tone of the episode abruptly changes as the camera moves away from Kody and Robyn's adolescent relationship. We're entering Meri Brown's realm and are no longer seeing awkward giggles or flirtatious kisses. Additionally, Meri's environment is tight, convoluted, and coated with years of frustration. Amber, Meri's buddy who is now her roommate, is seated alongside Meri. Just that one element says a lot. It demonstrates how Meri is creating a new network of support outside of her family, someone she can confide in and who is physically there in her life when the other Browns seem to be far away. Amber is evolving from a supporting role to a confidant and a witness to Meri's side of the tale. Meri starts to open up as they sit together. She describes an intense altercation she had with Kody. And you can tell it wasn't just a small argument when Meri uses the word blowout. This was the type of argument that causes wounds and forces you to reconsider every aspect of your partnership. Meri goes further, though, rather than stopping there. She begins by discussing all of the property-related discussions she has had with Robyn and Kody. This is when things start to get interesting. Meri calls the discussions weird, strange, not just tense, not just uncomfortable. That word is significant because it implies that there was something often unauthentic about the way Kody and Robyn approached her. It was about power, control, and the way choices were being made behind closed doors. It wasn't just about property. You can see the interaction between them as Amber listens. Amber serves as Meri's sounding board, confirming her emotions and reassuring her that she is not insane for observing the discrepancies. Together, they begin to piece together the larger picture. Meri feels excluded from Kody and Robyn's decision-making process, which goes beyond simply choosing a property. They are influencing the family's destiny. Meri remembers the last time she spoke with Robyn and Kody about the property, and she says it didn't feel right. It was neither clear-cut nor transparent. It was one of those discussions where you leave wondering what the true goal is. At that point, Meri begins to make connections to the notorious Coyote Pass conversations. She recalls hearing Kody and Robyn inform her she would only receive 2 acres while they and Janelle would each receive 4 while they were seated at the picnic table. She recalls Robyn's insistence on her estate, the logic's incoherence, and the math's inconsistency. Meri now understands that they were not isolated incidents. They belonged to a cycle in which Robyn was okay with Kody ignoring her and making choices that gave Meri less. There's more to the chat with Amber than just ranting. Meri is presenting her case, setting out the evidence, and demonstrating that she no longer has the same level of faith in Robyn. She feels deceived in addition to being ostracized. As her roommate, Amber sits there and witnesses that betrayal. There isn't much to this chapter. No laughter, no light banter, no kisses. Rather, it is authentic, heavy, and raw. It gives us Meri's side of the narrative, where she has been challenging the judgments, fighting for justice, and coming to terms with the fact that the people she previously trusted are now excluding her. Additionally, you can sense the tension rising as Meri speaks, because property isn't the only issue here. It concerns trust, loyalty, and the weaknesses in the family's basis. Amber is standing next to Meri while she draws a line. Together, they are revealing the truth. The so-called family unity is only a front. Robyn is participating behind the scenes, and Kody is making decisions that harm Meri. The narrative transports us to the Coyote Pass talk, one of the most notorious episodes in Sister Wives history. This wasn't just a friendly conversation about land, as anyone who has been watching the show knows. Meri Brown is still plagued by the pivotal moment that exposed the weaknesses in the family's foundation. Imagine the family assembled at Coyote Pass, the expansive acreage that was meant to symbolize their future, their solidarity, and their aspiration to construct houses next to each other. However, tension, perplexity, and a feeling of betrayal instead of hope emerged. Kody, Robyn, and Meri were seated at the picnic table in the middle of it all. Their tone was quiet, almost practiced, and their features were serious. Meri would receive 2 acres, according to the proposal they outlined. Together, Robyn and Kody would receive 4 acres. 4 acres would be given to Janelle. And in some way, 8 of the 14 acres would belong to Kody and Robyn. Meri sat there, listening, thinking, and then letting her voice out. She sounded disbelieving. "Hold on a second," she said. "Why only 2 acres are being given to me? You're getting 8, but why? That is completely nonsensical." It was a flash of insight. Meri had doubts about the fairness, loyalty, and decision-making process in addition to the math. She didn't hesitate to point out the unfairness and partiality that she observed. Meanwhile, Robyn embraced her position. She repeated her estate as if it were a shield as she continued to speak about it. My estate, she said, as though the land belonged to her alone, apart from Kody and the rest of the family. However, it was clear that Robyn's estate belonged to Kody. They were wed. They shared their land. However, it was evident from the way she spoke that she was claiming something for herself, one that did not include Meri. You could feel the strain in that moment. Meri's trust was crumbling at the picnic table, and her displeasure was evident. Robyn and Kody, however, were unconcerned, perhaps contemptuous. They pretended that the proposal made sense and that Meri should just go along with it. However, Meri was unable to. She refused to remain silent after seeing how unfair it was. There is more to this flashback than acreage. It has to do with power relations. It concerns who makes the decisions, who gains from them, and who is left behind. The 2-acre offer represented Meri's position in the family, smaller, less significant, and diminished. Robyn saw the fixation on her estate as a sign of power, authority, and a readiness to exclude Meri. And for that reason, this memory persists. Because Meri is bringing Amber and Robyn back to the present when she refers to her chats with Kody and Robyn as weird. She's coming to terms with the fact that the injustice was not new. She was informed she would only receive 2 acres at that picnic table near Coyote Pass, which is where it all began. The flashback reveals the origins of the present dispute. It clarifies Meri's lack of faith in Robyn, her sense of betrayal, and her ability to see past the pretense of justice. Because it's difficult to ever think you're being treated fairly again if you've been told you're worth less land, less room, and less respect. Therefore, viewers perceive more than simply a property conflict when they gaze back at Coyote Pass. They see the breakdown of confidence and the start of a rift that has only widened over time. And for Meri, the evidence is that talk at the picnic table when she understood that Kody and Robyn were okay with excluding her from the family's future. The Coyote Pass flashback sets the scene. But the debate concerning Robyn's estate in Chapter 4 is where the tension intensifies into something more profound. When this sentence is said often, it transcends the realm of language. It turns into a representation of prejudice, division, and Meri's developing sense that she is being ignored. Robyn and Kody had a composed, even professional tone as they sat at the picnic table. They talked as though land distribution were a straightforward logistical issue. However, Robyn's framing of it as my estate had a weight Meri was unable to ignore. It was about ownership, control, and the subliminal message that Robyn's needs were more important than Meri's. It was not simply about acres of land. Consider this: Kody is Robyn's husband. Her estate is his estate by definition. They have joint property and share resources. However, Robyn talked as though she had a right to her own place, separate from the rest of the family, and as though she had a claim of her own. This wasn't just strange to Meri. It was offensive. It implied that Robyn was okay with taking more, giving Meri less, and changing the standards of fairness to suit her own interests. Meri responded right away. She questioned the fairness, the reasoning, and the math. She questioned why others were receiving 4 acres while she was only receiving 2. She called attention to the disparity, the partiality, and the way the figures didn't match up. And you could sense the frustration growing at that precise moment. Respect was at stake here, not just land. It concerned whether Meri's opinion would be important for the family's future. But Robyn refused to give up. Like a chant, she repeated my estate over and over. She seemed to think that if she said it often enough, it would become true, excuse the imbalance, and quiet Meri's criticisms. However, it had the exact opposite impact. It revealed the gap. It demonstrated Robyn's alignment with Kody rather than with justice, unity, or Meri. This was a telling moment for the audience. It made the mechanics of power clear. Robyn wasn't merely a spectator. She was actively influencing the discussion, actively endorsing Kody's choices, and actively promoting a system in which Meri suffered and she gained. Meri also noticed it. She could see that Robyn wasn't working for equality, wasn't on her side, and didn't want to make things fair. This chapter is important because it clarifies the reasons behind Meri's loss of faith in Robyn. It wasn't just one argument, one battle, or one embarrassing exchange of words. There was a pattern. There was a trend where Robyn was okay with Kody excluding Meri, okay with choices that gave her less, and okay with acting as though justice was served when it was obviously not. And such treachery is symbolized by the words, my estate. It serves as a reminder that Robyn was prepared to assert her rights, distance herself, and allow Meri to be devalued. It's more than just acres of land to Meri. Respect, loyalty, and the understanding that Robyn was never really on her side are all important. This is what Meri is talking about when she sits down with Amber in the present and describes how weird those property conversations felt. The estate discourse, the disparity, the partiality. Robyn's decision to side with Kody while excluding Meri. It's the moment that solidified the gap, the moment Meri realized she couldn't trust Robyn, and the moment property became a symbol of treachery. Chapter 4 is important because of this. Because it demonstrates that the conflict is about more than just territory. It concerns identity, location, and Meri's place in the family's future. Additionally, Meri hears Robyn reply, "You don't belong," when she says, "my estate." In Chapter 5, the tension that has been building beneath the surface finally explodes. What starts out as just another tense discussion swiftly escalates into a full-fledged altercation, the kind that shakes everyone and reveals the rifts that have been developing for years. Kody is the first. He exudes a strong, protective, and almost hostile spirit. He is assaulting rather than merely disagreeing. The mood abruptly changes from tense to explosive as his tone intensifies and his words cut. The cameras catch Kody venting his annoyance at Jen, Meri's close friend and ally. Jen, who has been discreetly helping Meri, is suddenly the target of Kody's ire. This is more than simply a battle for Meri. It validates her long-held beliefs that Kody isn't paying attention, isn't concerned with justice, and is prepared to snap at anyone who questions his story. It's humiliating as well as terrible to see him abuse Jen. It demonstrates that Kody is not just rejecting Meri, but also rejecting those who support and encourage her. Meri's roommate Amber witnesses this mayhem. As she sits next to Meri, she witnesses firsthand how easily Kody's annoyance escalates into violence, and how the topic of conversation swiftly changes from property issues to personal assaults. Amber's presence highlights the gap. Kody and Robyn are strengthening their own alliance, while Meri has established a network of trust outside the family. Then there's Robyn. She carefully positions herself throughout the battle. She makes an effort to come out as impartial, composed, and even detached. However, her support for Kody is evident behind the scenes. She doesn't intervene on Meri's behalf. She doesn't confront Kody's hostility. Her silence speaks more than words as she watches the altercation play out instead. This is the last straw for Meri. It demonstrates that Robyn isn't unbiased, uninvolved, or innocent. She is complicit. The blowout battle turns into a pivotal moment. Land is no longer the only factor. It's about loyalty, trust, and realizing that Meri has no remaining allies in the core family. With the exception of the friends she has chosen outside the family, Robyn is mute, Kody is assaulting, and Meri is left standing by herself. The manner the truth is revealed in this chapter is what gives it such strength. It's not a random fight. It's the result of years of conflict, unequal property distributions, Robyn's estate-related chatter, and Meri's developing mistrust. It's the point at which everything becomes apparent. The pretense of togetherness breaks down, and the unadulterated feelings are released. The blowout fight is uncomfortable for spectators to watch. It's painful, noisy, and messy. However, it is also illuminating. It reveals the true relationships, the true divisions, and the true dynamics. It demonstrates to us that Meri is living, experiencing, and now ultimately revealing the injustice rather than merely imagining it. And after everything is said and done, it becomes evident that Meri does not trust Robyn, Kody, or a fair future. There is more to the blowout battle than just a disagreement. It's the tipping point. At that point, Meri comes to the realization that she must stand alone because the family she previously supported has already made a decision, and she is not on their side. The tension has reached a boiling point by Chapter 6. Meri has been shocked by the huge fight, but the underlying reality that trust has been lost is more lasting than the yelling and accusations. Totally gone. Meri struggled to hang on for years. She made an effort to think that there was still a bond of loyalty between her and Robyn in spite of the favoritism, the awkward property talks, and Kody's coldness. But now that everything has happened, that thread has broken. Meri sits down with her confidant and roommate, Amber, and spills her guts. She doesn't mince words. She doesn't sidestep the problem. She states clearly that she doesn't trust Robyn at all. Furthermore, Meri truly means it when she says, 0. There isn't any hesitancy, optimism, or maybe someday. It is no longer there. Why? Due to the enormous amount of evidence. Meri recalls the conversation about the estate, the division of the area, and Robyn's acceptance of Kody excluding her. She recalls the quiet during the huge battle and how Robyn didn't intervene, stand up for her, or even attempt to mediate. She recalls the private discussions, the ones that were weird, the ones in which Robyn feigned disinterest while obviously supporting Kody. It all adds up to betrayal for Meri. Robyn is not merely docile. She is complicit. She's a part of the system that makes Meri feel invisible, marginalizes her, and gives her less. And there's no turning back once you see that clearly and realize that someone you trusted is okay with you being excluded. Meri's annoyance, fatigue, and clarity are captured on camera. She is unwilling to see Robyn. She doesn't want to act as though nothing is wrong. She refuses to comply with the pretense of justice. She's finished. And the fact that this chapter is about more than simply rage is what gives it such power. Clarity is key. It's about Meri finally expressing aloud what she's been feeling for years. Robyn isn't someone she can trust, nor is she her friend or ally. Robyn, meanwhile, keeps up her role. She maintains on camera that she wants justice, that she is not engaged, and that she is merely attempting to maintain harmony. Meri, though, sees right through it. She is aware that the words and deeds don't align. She is aware that Robyn was okay with Kody's attacks, the division of the acreage, and the choices that degraded her. Meri calls it out for this reason. Because the receipts are not erased by pretending. This chapter depicts the ultimate disintegration of a formerly significant relationship, which makes it tragic. Robyn and Meri weren't always adversaries. Meri had thought they could live together and that Robyn's presence didn't have to mean she was excluded. After years of seeing the balance shift in Robyn's favor, Meri now understands that Robyn's commitment is to Kody rather than to justice, to her, or to the family as a whole. Trust is thus destroyed. Not broken, not fixable. Broken. Viewers can sense it, and Meri and Amber are aware of it. The core problem is loyalty, even though the property dispute may have served as the catalyst. Meri has also come to terms with the fact that Robyn will never be faithful to her. There is a sense of closure as the narrative comes to an end. Meri isn't just upset, she's determined. She is done acting, expecting, and waiting for justice, which will never materialize. The real core of the drama is revealed with that clarity. This is about more than just property. It has to do with treachery. It has to do with losing faith. It tells the story of a lady who discovers that the family she previously thought she belonged to has already taken sides, and she is not one of them. Individual arguments and unpleasant talks give way to something far bigger by the time we get to Chapter 7. This goes beyond a single blowout brawl, acreage, or even a mustache. It's about the broader picture, including how relationships fall apart, how alliances change, and how Meri Brown finally realizes where she fits in the family. Although this chapter isn't a tidy finish, the show presents it as such. It's unresolved, raw, and messy. As if their teenage-style romance is evidence that their relationship is stronger than ever, we see Kody and Robyn clinging to their union and portraying themselves as one. They act as though they are the focal point of the family and laugh and kiss. But the truth is obvious. Everyone else, especially Meri, suffers as a result of their unity. Meanwhile, Meri stands outside and peers inside. She is not just left out of choices about property, but also out of the family's emotional center. She has come to the unavoidable conclusion that she does not fit into the family that Kody and Robyn are creating as a result of the acreage dispute, the estate discussion, and the blowout argument. And that's the wider picture. There was more to the land conflict than acres. Power was at issue. It was a question of who gets to make decisions about the future, who gets to feel safe, and who gets to claim ownership. The estate discussion was about bolstering Kody and Robyn's power. The 2-acre offer served as a reminder that Meri was being pushed out and a sign of her diminishing role. Amber plays a vital role in this chapter. She serves as Meri's confidant and roommate, symbolizing the new network of support Meri is creating outside of her family. Meri is reassured that she is not insane for recognizing the injustice by Amber, who also listens to her. In many respects, Amber represents Meri's transition from attempting to blend in with a family that doesn't appreciate her to establishing a life where she is valued and heard. In contrast, Robyn is still acting out her dual role. She maintains on camera that she wants justice, that she is not engaged, and that she is merely attempting to maintain harmony. The receipts, however, paint a different picture. Meri recalls the silence amid the blowout fight, the estate conversation, and the division of the area. She is aware that Robyn was okay with choices that gave her less. Meri claims she has no trust because of this. Because Robyn doesn't act in accordance with what she says. The larger image is one of treachery. It's the understanding that the goal of erecting houses next to each other at Kody Pass was never really about equality, and that the family unity was always a front. Even if it meant excluding Meri, it was about Kody and Robyn protecting their property, land, and estate. This chapter is both upsetting and illuminating for viewers. It demonstrates that Meri is upset over more than simply property. Her anger stems from loyalty. She is upset about trust. She is upset because people she previously thought of as family have betrayed her, treated her poorly, and alienated her. Chapter 7 feels so heavy because of this. Because it's the end of trust, not just the end of a fight. At this point, Meri comes to terms with the fact that she cannot rely on Robyn, Kody, or the family to treat her fairly. It's the point at which she recognizes that she must stand alone because the family has already taken sides, and she is not one of them. Meri's frustration, clarity, and resolution are captured by the cameras as they dwell on her. Not only is she hurt, but she's also determined. Decided to give up pretending, to give up dreaming, and to give up waiting for unattainable justice. The real core of the narrative is revealed in that resolve. Meri isn't only responding to a fight. Her future is being rewritten. Therefore, the larger picture is Meri versus Robyn, Meri versus Kody, and Meri versus the system that excluded her, while Kody and Robyn are busy acting like teens. And Meri has at last found her voice in that struggle. The narrative has evolved into something even more complex by the time we reach Chapter 8. The acreage disputes, the fights, and the estate talk have all been captured on tape. However, Meri now discloses that there is another aspect of the drama that takes place in private chats and in quiet tones, away from the spotlight. The activities that take place behind the scenes are covered in this chapter. Meri goes on to say that although Robyn frequently portrays herself as impartial and only seeking justice and peace, the truth is far more nuanced. Behind the scenes, Robyn and Kody are having discussions that affect decisions, results, and Meri's sense of exclusion. Additionally, according to Meri, these conversations are not simple. They are weird. They are disturbing. Their tone gives her the impression that she is being controlled rather than included. The real power dynamics are revealed in these covert interactions. Robyn actively supports Kody's decisions rather than merely being there for him. She doesn't mind Kody's attacks, the estate discussion, or the division of the area. Furthermore, Robyn does not intervene to defend Meri when she attempts to refute the reasoning. Rather, even if it means Meri receives less, she sides with Kody. Sitting next to Meri, Amber serves as a sounding board for these disclosures. As Meri describes the conversations, the tone, and how Robyn's comments don't align with her public character, she listens. Meri's feelings are confirmed by Amber, who assures her that they are real. It's not a coincidence. These are trends. Even though Robyn acts otherwise, it is evident that she is profoundly interested. Because it removes the facade, this chapter is heavy. Robyn has frequently come across to spectators as the cool-headed one, the mediator, and the person who only seeks unity. However, Meri's story demonstrates that harmony isn't the aim. It's control. Robyn's silence during arguments, her estate talk, and her private talks all suggest that she is okay with Kody ignoring Meri, with judgments that favor her, and with acting as though justice is served when it isn't. And that discovery is awful for Meri. She no longer has faith in Robyn, but it goes beyond that. It's because she finally understands Robyn's function. Robyn has a bias. She is not disengaged. She is not innocent. She contributes to the alliance that diminishes Meri, the system that excludes her, and the transformation of the family dream at Kody Pass into a nightmare. Meri's annoyance, fatigue, and clarity are captured on camera. She is unwilling to see Robyn. She has no desire to act. She does not wish to continue to maintain the appearance of justice. The larger picture, that the family isn't united, becomes evident at that point. It is separated. Despite her public persona, Robyn has a significant role in that division. The unmasking occurs in Chapter 8. It is the point at which Meri reveals the true nature of the situation. Land isn't the only factor. It goes beyond battles. It has to do with loyalty, treachery, and the secret talks that show Robyn isn't the peacemaker she says she is. Additionally, you can sense the gravity of Meri's words as she speaks. There is no longer any trust. The facade has been destroyed. The truth has been revealed. Additionally, the family, which was before based on the idea of togetherness, is now irreparably broken. By Chapter 9, the narrative has changed from conflict to introspection. Meri is at a crossroads as a result of the blowout fights, the estate talk, and the covert conversations. This chapter focuses on her pivotal moment, when she starts to prioritize self-preservation, clarity, and distance over the never-ending cycle of betrayal. Meri is captured by the cameras in a more subdued environment. She is no longer shouting, fighting, or even attempting to compromise. She's processing instead. Her tone, her face, and the way she addresses Amber all convey it. She's worn out, but she's determined. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.